Hello, people. It's Steven. Not at his kitchen counter again. Alright. Well, how you doing? All the trouble I've had out of that 2,000 watt hub motor, it's got to go. Like I was saying in one of my previous videos, if you're going to do some upgrading, you might as well do it all. If you want to keep the original batteries, that's fine, but if you do a motor controller to try and get better speed, forget it. You can get better speed, but I guarantee you're going to have problems. If you're going to do a motor controller, do a motor with it. That's the best advice I can give. Now, where's my utility knife? Presenting an unboxing of a 5,000 watt QS motor. They said they had to build it. I said, if you got to build it, you might as well do it fast. Make it fast. I don't care about strength or torque. Make it fast. So 1,400 RPM is what this motor is supposed to do. Well, let's see if QS Motor told me the truth. Let's see. Utility knife. Yep, there's a heck of a mess in the background. That love seat is a catch-all. And over the last couple of months, I've been buying batteries like you wouldn't believe. 18650s. Bought one order of low amp rating and 2200 amp hour. They'll only handle about 2 amp. That was 4 batteries per battery pack. And 75 of them. So that's quite a count. The next order I made was 85 of the Ring. The brand name on them is Ring. They are a 3 amp hour cell, testing out at 3 amp hour, anywhere from 2,900 to 3,100, and can handle a max of 5 amp, but a steady 2 amp, and minimal voltage drop. So I'll probably use the Ring cells for a third battery. I want to try and get up around 60 to 70 miles. That's what I want to do, but whether that space is going to let me do it or not, I have no idea. But let's see. Let's unbox this thing. I just got it yesterday. It took a little over a week to get it. Yes, $230 for shipping. The total order was $536. So the wheel itself, it's expensive, but the shipping really gets you. Well, they marked the packaging. Yep. Hold on. I hate how these cameras will not flip while they're recording. So aggravating. Anyway, I'll just flip my phone. Alright, here's the top view. Is it in there? They marked screws on top whatever that's supposed to mean. And, well, I guess I need to take these out. You gotta love when you just had something and you can't find it. Oh, okay, that's the hold them in place nuts, not screws. I probably should put this box upside down. Boy, folks, they got this whole thing encased in foam. I'm going to have to flip it upside down. Yep, here we go. Hopefully I don't scratch my coffee table. Although, it is kind of old. No point in working against gravity. I'm too lazy for that. Alright, considering the side label screw is most likely going to be the top, or they really made a point to put an arrow to that. It's like, hey, right here, look. Another arrow on this box too. I wonder what that's about. Hopefully not cabling, because I really got a razor blade lifting down this thing. Not very deep, but good enough to cut the tape. Now, folks, I am definitely not rich. I am not well-to-do. I'm far from that. Full disclosure, I'm making about $1,200 a month. I've been working on this thing since June, and since then I've been saving money, because I figured it was going to come down to this. The only turn me upside down thing that come up is my fiance needing tires on her car, which cost me what this motor cost me. Oh wow, that's some heavy gauge cable. Now the specs on this is 16 pole. It is max rated up to 12,000 watts. Now that's peak. That's not regular. The regular is 5,000. The pole pair number is 16. And the current is up to 110 amps. Let's see. And the Voltal motor controller is a max of 120, so they're balanced. Now, right now I've got enough battery to handle as far as current goes. 80, 40, 120 amp. But I'm only going to set it at 80 max. And hope the front wheel don't come off the ground. Because I did that once. It didn't do much, but it kind of freaked me out. QS motor, I would like to thank you for clustering this up so badly. Boy, I tell you, that AC side wiring is really thick. Oh, now the tape wants to come out. Good. Good grief. Boy, they wrapped that up like nobody's business. Ooh, that's some thick cable on that motor controller. Wow. You guys can't see it from there, so I'll bring it in. I have to flip it around because, well, the phone cameras are retarded and you can't flip them unless you stop the camera, flip it, and then go back to record. I don't want to do that. Okay. Give me some light. And the camera. Look how thick that is. That is equivalent of about a 12-2 for the AC house wire. In fact, that's what it feels like. Hubmotor comes with two hall sensor plugs. They say the other one is for backup. They say the other one is for backup in case one gets broken, and that's fine. It shouldn't take too awful long to change this motor out. But let me take off the plastic and I'll let you get a look at it. Oh, and the phase angle on this is 120. I did have that info too. So, I've got all the info I need to manually program that Vader controller. Of course, if you're going to go with Sabaton, you'd probably be, the self-learn will do you just fine. I didn't have any trouble with it self-learn. It was just that motor in general. It did not like spinning as fast as those controllers wanted to do. Except for the 45 amp Sabaton. Even with that one, I still had minor issues, but it was pretty slow. When I went up like a kind of a steep hill, and that thing was like, I think I can. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I barely got over 10 miles an hour climbing that hill with the 45 amp. Now, I've got good batteries, so that wasn't a problem. Alright. You ready? Get a good look. That is neat. Turn around here. And the official QS motor serial number. Now, the motor on these Vaders, they do have an official QS motor serial number, but it's raised up. And because of it being a custom wheel, there's no guarantee it's going to perform the way QS motor intended. It's definitely going to work. You know, I've seen a lot of people have the Vaders. I looked online. They're called various things, but they're all the same. And everybody said they're slow. And yeah, I'm saying right now, they're slow. And that speedometer, I finally got it to work. The cable that controls the speedometer numbers goes onto the phase wire. One of these wires, it don't make any difference which one. It's got to go on one of these three. And that'll make the numbers go up. But, sadly, it's not accurate. As soon as I hit the throttle, it spikes up to 65 and that's it. Alright, now I don't know what kind of temperature it is outside. I think it's like in the 60s. But I may be able to get this thing installed on my bike. Bike's only got 77 volts in it. I gave it a good charge. I didn't know if I'd be driving it anymore or not because it's so late in the year. And then I up and decided to buy this. Not going to be able to drive it much, but I can at least get the wheel installed and run it for a test drive. Or a burnout. Not too sure about the burnout part, but I can definitely have a little fun with it. So, without further ado, I'm going to pause the video and jump to the building. Catch you guys in a bit. Hello people, it's Steven, not at his kitchen counter. And yes, I keep saying that. One of these days I'll be back at my kitchen counter working on batteries. I got plenty of that going on. It's like, 5 days later. Well, what was it? Tuesday I made that video. It's Sunday now, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, 5 days later. After I finished that first section of the video, I took a look at the rim and I'm like, oh no, I gotta change that tire to that rim. Then I started getting a headache. And then I started getting hungry. Well, it was all downhill from there. I just grabbed me a meal and said, well, I'm not going to say what I thought, but anyway. It's late in the year. It's sunny right now, as you guys can see. But it's only in the 50s. Of course, when you're out riding, if it's 50 degrees outside, it's suddenly 40 degrees. Then you hit a cold front, it could drop down to like 25. So yeah, it's not fun. Now, as you can see, I've already got the wheel taken out. That tire is flat again. I'm not going to trust it. This thing was sold at a low speed. So I'm going to assume I can't even find anything on that tire. Ordered a tire. Michelin. Yes, Michelin. To go on that. This is a 120/70/12. I'm putting a 130/70/12 on this rim. Reason being, I want to change the gear ratio a little. This thing's going to have a lot of torque to it. So I can take some of the torque out and gain top end by putting a little bigger tire on it. It's got plenty of room between the rim and the tire guard right there. Yeah. So I'm gonna let that roll. But saved you guys the misery of me having to take it out. It's pretty straightforward. There's a couple of nuts on each side, a few brackets, and the brake caliper. Caliper is held by a couple of bolts. Now, there was a little trick to getting this rear wheel out. This right here is welded in. So you've literally got to get this side twisted around and out to get the bracket. Let's see. I'll show you what bracket. This bracket, clear. Once you get that, you own. Yep. But all I'm going to do today is put this wheel in place, get it semi-connected, snugged up, because I'm going to have to take it back out. I want to hear it spin. Just to test my theory on if that wheel's junk, or my motor controller is blown because of the junk. Anyway, I'm gonna move forward, put you guys off to the side, and get this rim in place. Okay, we'll have to continue this saga at another time. I will say the issues I've got. It's not much, it's actually pretty minor. There's not enough thread sticking out for my preference over here. So it does have this, which is a plate to keep it locked in. I'm going to Loctite that. And I've got this small space right here, but I do have a I've got a bushing that'll fit in here, but if I can do a nut, I think the bushing actually fits a little better. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spread that fork out just a little tiny bit to get this bushing in here. And from the looks of it, on the center of the rim, looking down it, pretty much looks like the wheel's centered. I'll get a tape measure on it and check the distance between here and the edge of the rim on both sides to see if it's actually centered. But that don't really mean much because of the way the bike is. But that actually looks pretty close. It's not touching here, so that's good. I think where it's at right now is pretty much where the other one was. So this is going to have to go in. I'll just have to spread that out. Folks, you guys change this motor out, eat your Wheaties. I am not joking. That thing, they said it weighs 30 pounds. DHL did, or the packaging said it weighed 30 pounds, but it feels more like 50. It's heavy. Ain't no joke. And it really wasn't easy to get up in the arms. But it is what it is. Yeah. What was it, like 210 Newton meters is the torque rating on this. So like I said, it's got plenty of torque, but I want more higher speed. So the 130 tire, and it being Michelin, I'll feel safer. It's speed rated at 93 miles an hour, so that's way over what I'm going to be able to go, because if they've got this wired right, it should do right close to 70. And it screams. Something's still not quite right with the controller part of it. The guy said he'd send me a file, but he hasn't done it yet, because I sent him a message back and I said it's too cold for my preference to be riding. But I sent him a message, so I'm gonna have to wait. You know, China, their nighttime or daytime, 12 hours off on time. But whenever he answers back, I will get the controller sorted out. Right now I've got it set at default, phase angle 120, put it going reverse. So I had to do minus 120. I'm like, okay, that's not right. But I guess you guys could see, that's what it's doing. And then it finally catches at about half throttle. hopefully it don't scream like that at 60 mile an hour. Because that's really all I want to get is 60. I'd be fairly happy with 50, but the RPM on this, when we was talking and I bought it, and he neglected to tell me that it was in stock or not until after I paid for it, mind you. Which reminds me, it took longer than a week to get it. Made the order September 29th and received it October 26th. So if they don't have it in stock and they have to build it, you might want to tell them, build it for speed. Make sure you tell them, build it for speed. Otherwise, you'll end up getting it probably doing about 50 mile an hour. The highest speed that this thing can do to them is 110 kilometers per hour, which is 68 mile an hour. Okay, tablet, let's wake up. Oh, you gotta love Windows. Take your sweet time going to the login. The guy that I'm working with, his name is Harry Zoo. I sent him a video of what it sounds like and what it's doing, and also how I've got it hooked up on the controller to see if he can tell me anything different. Hopefully I don't have to, maybe I've got one of these wires reversed. But he did tell me before the blue was U, green was V, and Y is W, which yellow, and then green and blue. That could be wrong. I might have misunderstood him back when I first bought this controller, but with me showing him a picture of it, I figure maybe he'll redirect me. But yeah. Okay, let's go to the file that shows the specs on this motor. At least this way I can zoom things up. So you guys can pause the video wheel size is 3.5 inches, of course 12 inch diameter. And then the things that you really need to look at, I really wish they had to put the phase angle in this. That might be part of the problem. And of course, with it going in reverse, I may have two wires going backwards to cause the motor to spin backwards at positive 120. And it's actually reading on the display part of the software, it's reading that it's going in reverse. So that may affect how fast it's actually running. The rated voltage is up to 96 volts. Continuous current is 110 amp. Max current's 200 amp. I'm only going to be using about 80 amp in sport mode and 70 amp on regular. 16 pole pair. Now the torque, 220 Newton meters. That's pretty stout. Max efficiency 85 to 91. Now rotating speed. Now this is what we talked about when I made the order. I asked him how fast is it gonna go, and he said how about 1,000 to 1,100 RPM. I told him my 2,000 watt is already doing that, and I'm doing like 45 mile an hour. But you know that motor has been crap from day one. Unless I've got the default controller on it. Okay, so he said about 13 to 1400 RPM. He said, and I told him, yeah, that does sound better. I do want to get some speed out of it. So the max is 110 kilometers per hour, and that is going to be 68 miles per hour. Of course, that's going to be road conditions, whether you're climbing a hill or going down a hill. It could go faster, but this controller also has a limiter on how fast the motor will change, not how fast it'll go, by monitoring the rotating speed. And if it exceeds that speed, then it starts going into auto regeneration mode. And I'm pretty sure it tries to do auto regeneration too when you let completely off the throttle. I do feel it bogged down when I let off the throttle. Now it comes with one set of hall sensors in case one gets damaged. Yes, 2 hall sensors. Not just one, but 2. 5 voltage is standard on your hall sensors, unless specified for it to be different. The disc that come off that wheel fits perfect on this wheel. Of course, you're going from QS motor to QS motor, but the this side of it doesn't stick out as far on the cable side. It doesn't stick out quite as far, so I'm going to have to compensate for that to get that centered up. And then max working temperature. And of course the color of it's black, and then the packaging. But that's all they've got in there. The phase angle's not listed in the specs, and I told him, and he said he'd send me a file on it. So he should come through. Sometimes he's a bit slow. But anyway, people, this will be continued at another time. I will go ahead and toss this one out there to let you guys get a look at this video. And whenever I get things settled in with getting that file done, I'll post another video on the finish up, and it's going to be about a week before I'll get the tire on it. I definitely want to go with a better tire. This thing, if you get it, where's it at? Yeah, see that hole? $536, and they don't even give you a valve stem. Yeah, that really made me mad. The tire itself was $3 something, but the shipping, oh my god, the shipping. Of course, this thing is heavy too. But anyway, that's all I've got to say today. I'm gonna wrap it up and go play World of Warcraft today, I guess. Just waste my day away. But I'm glad I got the wheel in place, and I feel better about buying a Michelin tire, because like I said, that thing keeps going flat. I'm not going to trust it. Have a good day, people. Catch you next time.